Yes.
Tune in and turn up your radio. It's on there. Turn up your speakers and let them bomb. We on right there. You already heard about it. Red Jelly, Simmons, y'all. So feel the nerves, discussing topics. Pick up your phone and call. So real, talking about facts and the metaphysical. So deep, you're gonna need a rap to make sure you stay afloat. So baby, don't you check that stage. Baby, you are the sister, greatest in the league. It don't matter what you're doing, just save it. And you can get back to it later. You can get some of this flavor. Cause real recognize real. Real recognize real. Real recognize real. Real recognize real.
Real recognize real. Yes, yes. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Thank you, Darlene Smith and Tony Simmons, for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. You are faithful to the show and so many others. But we want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. I'm your host, Franchella.
And I'm Lynette, the co-host.
Yes, the best co-host on the East Coast. I know that's right. So, as a lot of you guys follow me, I have had a tragedy in my family. My nephew was murdered on Valentine's Eve, which would never be the same for me, but he was pronounced dead on the 15th. And so we're not going to go into our hot topics. We're going to go right into our first guest, because this young lady here, I'm going to bring her up, and you know how we do. We introduce them first, and then we go into our discussion. So without further ado, let me bring up. Now let me move you guys around. There you go. So yes, hey Roz, how are you? Turn your camera off. You don't want to be seen anymore, Roz? There you go.
Hey.
Hey, how are you, beautiful?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I'm still trying to learn this whole technology with the pandemic and the Zoom and the. So when the phone rings, I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Well, you look great. You did the right thing. Everything's awesome right now. So, Lynette, could you please introduce Roz for me?
Absolutely. So, Rosalind Pichardo is an activist, educator, and survivor whose life has been deeply and irrevocably touched by gun violence. She survived an attempted homicide in the early 90s, and shortly after, her boyfriend, Talbert Jackson, was murdered. She later lost her twin sister, Kathleen, to suicide by firearm, and her brother, Alexander, to murder. In response to the personal tragedies and rising homicide rates in her community, Rosalind founded Operation Save Our Children in 2012. She works primarily with mothers and sisters of homicide victims to advocate for justice in police work and criminal investigation, as well as for the legislation of stronger gun laws. She is very active in the community and works at the Prevention Point Philadelphia as the community engagement team's lead educator, and has reversed more than 569 opioid overdoses on the train and streets of Philadelphia. She also works for the DEA to help develop and facilitate programming for youth. So welcome and thank you, Rosalind, and my condolences to you about the losses of your loved ones.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So,
So
Rod,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Lynette.
Go ahead,
So,
because I was gonna go right into questions. So go ahead.
yeah, that's thank you so much for once I reached out to you, we've been on several shows together, so I'm very familiar with what you do, but I reached out because of what I have recently been through. And people don't realize, until it actually hits home, we know the importance of it, but it's so much more important at this point.
Mm.
My nephew did not deserve to go out this way. We all think that we're going to go when we get old, if we get sick, and that we have time to say goodbye. But when things happen and all of a sudden and you're shocked and you're not able to say goodbye or tell them for the last time how much you love them, it hurts. So can you just tell us about, what you have personally been through and how you tend to handle the situation and stand strong and move forward and making a change?
So my many situations have been kind of unique because I've been through so many different kinds of tragedy. So I always try to focus on the healing aspect of it, but also try to focus on how can I empower the next family? Because it's important that when people grieve, and I know your grief is so new, it's so new. So I mean, this is not for you, but families who are maybe a couple years in, or maybe even months in, just trying to figure out that center ground to kind of keep yourself balanced and not completely be angry at the entire world, because that can happen. I feel like, especially for men especially, because a lot of our men are taught not to cry and to be strong and to in order to hold that family together, you can't show emotion, and that's the stigma around grieving fathers and grieving uncles or grieving brothers. And that's a misconception, because I feel like for my dad, who had that thought in his mind about grieving, and he didn't grieve the way that he should have, and he ultimately lost his own life because the
Pain.
death of my brother was so strong. It was so overwhelming that, every day he would say, "Oh, I just want to go to sleep and not wake up," and he would constantly say this. Or if I find somebody who looked like him, I'm going to shoot them. And it was like all these things, like, all this built up anger and frustration and uncertainty with him, and he ultimately went to sleep, and as he wished, didn't wake up. And that can happen to a lot of different fathers, and it can happen to mothers too. It's just like, for me, it took a little bit of time to deal with that loss. Losing my identical twin sister was like almost losing myself. And after a while, we all go through this process where losing someone, for me, as close as my twin sister. No, I didn't want to be here either. I was ready to check out myself. And it's just like, after a while, I give myself every day that 5 minutes a day to grieve, to grieve that loss of my dad, of my sister, of my boyfriend, of my brother. And I give myself that 5 minutes to do whatever it is I need to do when I wake up in the morning for that 5 minutes. Whether it be cry, whether it be light a candle, whether it's talk, whether it's whatever I need to do. But I give them 5 minutes every day and say, this is all I can give you today. The rest is for the families who just recently lost. Because for my sister, I know that she did it. I know that for my boyfriend, I know that my ex-boyfriend did it. For my dad, I know that the grief was too hard. For my brother, it was a coward, even though the case was unsolved. I can't do anything else other than grieve that 5 minutes and move forward and try to empower families to not be like my sister, who the grief was so much that she ended her life, to be like my dad, where it was so much he willed himself to his own death. So I can't and I'm not saying that it's their fault, but what I'm saying is that we are in control of the emotions that we put forward. And I think that it's hard to understand it with new grief, but with time, you would understand that, a person like, for myself, every day I learned something from every trauma. For my twin sister's trauma, I learned how to let some of the pain go. And then with my brother, it was like, okay, now we're going to find the shooter. And now I got to pound the pavements to find out, go door to door with flyers. So now that's an additional skill I'm learning to deal with this trauma. Then for my dad, what I've learned was that the stigma around men not wanting to cry because they feel like it's not manly. No, now my job is to empower men and say, "Lo, this is our mothers need to see this. Our sisters need to see this. We need to know that you're letting this go so that you can really be a true support for us." And it's just been one of those things where if I don't take care of me mentally, physically, emotionally, then nobody else is going to. I'm not going to be able to do this work if I don't put myself in check. Because if I don't, then I'm not going to be able to sit on the couch with another mother or sister and say, this is how I dealt with it. This may not work, but these are other things that other women have done or other mothers have done to help them cope with this loss.
You have to give yourself permission to grieve. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, a lot of people think that, oh well, it shows a sign of weakness if I don't cry or if I don't express how I'm really feeling about what happened. So you have to really give yourself permission that it's okay. It's a natural part of the process when you lose a loved one. So it's okay, because oftentimes when you don't grieve, it manifests itself in some way, whether it be turning to alcoholism or drugs, or like you said, when you hold it in, it takes control of your heart. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I believe that my grandfather on my father's side died when my dad died, because he died a month later and he never properly grieved. He died in his sleep. So I think that, like you said, it was just a buildup of an emotional suppression that really has to manifest itself in some way. So even if you try to hold it in, it's not good for your heart. It's not good
Mm-hmm.
for your health. It's okay to be vulnerable and open and go through the different stages of the grieving process in order to heal. Healing is extremely important and beneficial. So one of the things that I think is important for you, because you've been through so much and you're building other people, is to also sow into yourself, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you get drained from hearing other people's stories, and not on purpose, but it's like, I'm dealing with this and now I have other things that are on top of that. So I want you to allow yourself, I don't know if you're doing it, but I want you to allow yourself time for you, because
Yeah.
it's almost like a minister. You get up there and you preach to everybody else, and now you're drained, and you don't. So somebody else now has to then deposit back into you everything that you've given out. So I want you to take time for yourself as well, because that's also a part of your healing process.
Yeah,
It's that
I definitely advocate a lot for crisis responders and first responders and social work and all these things, because self-care is so important. Self-care is the
absolutely,
most important thing to keep on doing what we do. And not
absolutely,
and not not only that, because sometimes we have to surround ourselves around friends who will check you too. We have to surround ourselves around people who know you and say, yo, something's not right. You need to, you know, fall back, take a couple of days off, take a weekend off or something. But also, for me, what I noticed for me, back in the day when I first started dealing with this trauma was self-sabotaging. When you're receiving all these blessings, but then you don't feel you're so worthy because you're so sad and so depressed, and then you self-sabotage your own blessing because you
Mhm.
don't feel like you deserve it. and
Preach.
and 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 it's just like really important for people to recognize that, and also to recognize that you can't overwhelm yourself with
Ex-
work after a death, because I did that soon after the murder of my brother, where I was like nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. But it was fulfilling at the moment, but the consequences
It takes
on
a
my
toll.
mental was
Mhm.
not like, I'm like, I have to take a break. And God had, for me, I'm not super religious, but God has a way with working with me where, I'm going to sit you down. Like
Mhm.
he literally sat me down. Like
Emotions.
I ended up being very, very sick for almost a year, maybe a little less than that, where I was still on the scene, doing like internet stuff, but I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I like, it was complete left side paralysis,
Mm.
almost like a stroke like victim. I had to learn how to walk, talk, speak, dress myself. And he sat me down. It's like, no, this is what I have to do to sit you down. This is what it has to be. So we have to learn to listen to our bodies and say, our body can endure but so much. And if you don't listen to it, then our higher power, your higher power, whoever that may be, is going to
Exactly.
slow you down. And for
Absolutely.
me, and for me, it's just like, recognizing these things early on and say, I can't go out all gun ho and do this. I gotta have a plan, and I have to involve other people. I have to have a support team, because this kind of work is not for the faint-hearted. It really, really isn't. I
It's
mean,
not.
you're hearing people's stories. I mean, even you guys as hosts, as hearing people's stories, we all take this in emotionally, and that's what connecting with people does to someone. When you connect with people, you connect in all aspects, spiritually, mentally. You're feeling some of their trauma, and we all have to deal with the self-care of dealing with other people's hurt, and that's important that people recognize that.
Absolutely. And I had to even question my mental state because I'm usually the one in the family that's the strong one, the one that everybody depends on, the go-to person. And who can I go to? I mean, my husband is my biggest support, don't get me wrong, but you know, everybody looks to me. So the hurt from this, and so I did ask you to come on the show. We had this show schedule, and we do have other guests that are sitting in the queue. So I want to be able to dedicate a whole show to you, Rise, to talk about this healing and have other people to come on that's going through these things and know where they can get help from. I would love for my sister to reach out as a mother losing her only child. And so I will want to dedicate more than the allotted time for the day to really speak with you in depth. But my last question, and I know Lynette probably had a million questions because she's always here.
I
um,
did.
but
So
my last question to
I
you
want to
is
ask her one.
knowing that.
Just go ahead. I'm sorry. Just after you ask that one, I want to ask one more, and then we
Okay.
can.
So just quickly, you talked about not really getting justice and never really finding the person who murdered your brother. Um, and that haunts me every day. Rather, is justice from the courts or is justice from the street? And I'm just being 100. So, how to deal with that, because it's the closure that all families need, when something like this happens.
I mean, I find that justice happens in in so many different levels, but it can happen with karma for me, where that person may not have justice in the justice system, or maybe not even in the streets. But I feel like um, at the end of the day, God has a place for people like that, and for me, in order for me to continue this work, I had to I had to dig so deep within myself to forgive this person, because if I didn't have forgiveness for him, if they caught him, then I would have this hate, the same hate that my dad had for this person. And I'm not a hateful person. You know, I will want to find out why he did it, and what hurt would he was he dealing with that caused him to take somebody's life. What was he dealing with? How can we make the next generation different from him? So it's just more question and analyzing the whole thing, opposed to hating him and trying to throw him under the jail cell. So it took a lot for me to forgive him, but forgiveness for me was key, even though I don't know who did it.
Gotcha.
It's almost like taking the power back, taking your power back, and being in charge of your emotions and not letting the person rule, your mental state, because oftentimes it's hard to do, but it's beneficial to you mentally. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends lost her son last night. He was a victim of gun violence as well. So it's something that we definitely need to continue the conversation, because in the city of Philadelphia, the gun violence, especially among the teens, are out of control. They have been for several years.
Absolutely. And so, like I said, thank you so much for coming on. Please tell people where they can find you, though, Roz. Those that are in our queue, those that are live with us now on Facebook, in case they need to get in touch with you.
Yeah, so it's Operation Save Our City on Instagram, Operation Save Our City on Facebook, and my cell number is 856-745-6045, and my email is operationsaveourcity@gmail.com.
And I just want to thank you for all you have done and all that you are doing. And I need to jump on board with you at this point. I should have been did it, but right now, what I'm feeling, I need to help myself as well as help others. So thank you. I appreciate you, and I'll be in touch, because I want to do a whole segment on gun violence and just the healing process and things of that nature. So thank you again, Roz. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Have a good night, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, wow. This is, I said, did I need to get my sunglasses? I'm just holding back the tears, but we're going to go right on to our next guest. I see Jordan in the queue. So I'm going to bring her up.
Hello.
Looking beautiful as usual.
Thank you.
So is there anybody else on your team that we need to bring in to the show with you?
No, it's just me.
Just you? Okay. All right. So, Lynette.
So Jordan L. Campbell was born in Louisiana on a military base. Her parents' career in the armed forces and Department of Defense caused her to travel a lot. Jordan is a positive person who enjoys an entertaining life. As an actress, her passion started when she was young, and she has been a shining star ever since. Her days on the stage started in Baltimore, Maryland, where she acted in several theater productions. She later decided to pursue a career in counseling, and God put her on that path. She earned a degree and works in the field of mental health, to tie into what we were just talking about. I wrote it down. Jordan has counseling experience, and from her counseling experience, she creates her own screenplays and works to look deeper into the mental health challenges faced in the Black community. By using the knowledge of mental health, she wants to examine the breakdown that causes minorities to shy away from therapy. Her goal is to get out the stigma about mental health challenges in an effort to break traumatic generational cycles. Her first screenplay, The Deepest Cut, tackles some of these issues and is premiering on March the 27th at the AMC Theater in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Jordan is the writer, director, executive producer, and lead actress in the film. Jordan has also played in feature productions. It's quite a few of them, so I won't name all of them. I Don't Need an Angel was one. Misophonia is another, but there's several others. She is currently working on several different movie projects as well. So look out for her current and upcoming projects. So welcome, Jordan, and thank you. Welcome back, I should say.
Thank you.
Awesome. Every time I hear like, people, producing, directing, whatever, but when I hear they're also in it, even though I know you're an actress, Diddy just comes to mind for some reason, because he had to be in all his videos with all his artists, and I said, and I don't consider myself really to be an actress, but I said if I was, I would be in mine too, So
right. Seasons, Franchella.
Huh?
You had Twisted Season. Yeah, that was your opportunity.
I know, but I'm saying I wasn't in it because I had you guys. Like, I want you to shine. You guys got that talent. So that's not my talent. I could have walked across the stage so they see me, all the extra work that I do. But, I'm just saying, once I get to that level, I want to be able to have that on my resume as well. So kudos to you, Jordan.
Thank you.
And she's a phenomenal actress. So
I'm
Thanks so much. And you're in this too, Lynette. Let's not shy away from that.
I know. Actress, author, the list goes on and on.
Right.
So make sure y'all come check it out because it's an awesome movie. So tell us a little bit about it. Yeah, tell us a little bit about The Deepest Cut.
Yes, so The Deepest Cut, so it follows this character. Her name is Constance, and she tries to explore having to have a romantic relationship, and she soon discovers that there's some things in her past that she hasn't really dealt with yet. And then after the past comes into the present, she kind of has to make a decision of, am I going to continue to live my life just going through the motions, not really dealing with this? Or am I going to choose the path of like really starting to heal and tackling some of these inner demons?
Yeah, and it kind of ties into what we were talking about a little bit in terms of allowing yourself the freedom to grieve over whatever the experiences that you're going through, as well as to heal from it also. So you definitely have to check it out. Again, it's March the 27th, AMC Theater, and I believe the show times is 7, but 7. You're doing a red carpet. Red carpet, so come out dress ready. You can get tickets on AddieVilleProductions.com.
Right.
Nice.
So Jordan, I have a question. So working in the mental field, how do you separate that work from your personal life?
I mean, what was that? I'm sorry.
Or can you? Or
I think it can be easier to separate because I can say, okay, this is them. I'm hired to kind of help them with their issues. I think it's gotten easier throughout the years. But I also have been learning to appreciate that, even a therapist can have a therapist, and I got my own personal therapist as well. So it helps me, especially when I'm dealing with my own stuff, to kind of like keep it outside the room so it doesn't trickle in when I'm dealing with the clients.
So when people have mental health challenges or just challenges, period, what advice would you give them to shift the mindset from not thinking they're crazy or that something's wrong with them? The stigma that you talked about. So what encouragement can you give people out there to get the help that they need?
Yeah, I mean, I would basically say that even though you go through struggles, it doesn't mean that you're crazy. Everybody goes through struggles, and it's important to look to your support systems to help you with these struggles. And I was even listening in to the guest previously, and she was saying that at some point, God's going to slow you down. So as you're trying to truck through life and keep it moving, you're going to slow down at some point, and at that point you might not have those resources that could have been there. So instead of waiting until you're hitting rock bottom, you could be very proactive in tackling some of these things.
Exactly. I always say, like in the scripture, it says, God maketh me to lie down. The last thing you want him to do is make you. Exactly. Because sometimes you're not ready for that.
Right.
No,
right.
absolutely. And so, it's funny that, even your movie talks about the stigma, and in my play, it talked about the stigma of therapy, that Black people think that, we're not that we're too good for therapy, but we don't need therapy. And I think everybody does need therapy. But with me, what got me through a really, really bad anxiety attack that I had, I would say it's been well over 15 years now. I thought I was going crazy. I thought that, I'm strong. Like, what's wrong with me? What's going on? I'm the strong. This can't be me. But what helped me, and I think for so many people, people hide it. I didn't. I went to work. I'm talking to people. I didn't realize the medication they trying to give me by 5 other co-workers was taking it on a daily basis. I'm like, really? So it made me feel comfortable, but that I wasn't alone, because it makes you feel like you're the only one that's going through something like this. Right. And so, if you can get therapy or figure it out on your own. For me, I did go to therapy, but I felt like I knew what my issue was. I knew I'm a high strung person. I didn't know how to sit back and relax, and I'm constantly moving, and my mind is constantly thinking, and so I just needed to learn how to relax. But the therapist was going into my background. I had a wonderful life. No, I wasn't abused. Like, we don't need to talk about that. I know. Tell me how I need to relax. So I had to cut that short, and I learned on my own. I wound up getting at night because I couldn't sleep. Anxiety makes you stay up, and you cannot sleep because your mind is constantly like moving and running. And so I see all these infomercials, and I wind up ordering this set for people who are depressed and had anxiety, and it was cards, and it truly helped me. And it had on the disc, it had stories of CFOs and priests and all these other people who have the same issue of like you, but they're in great positions. So it really helped to know that you are not alone and to talk about it. You don't have to talk about it to everybody, but tell someone, because you never know what story they can share with you. Exactly. So that's just my take on the whole, mental health. And I commend you for, having that service that you provide to so many, because it's so needed, especially with the younger generation, with suicide and drugs and everything that kind of gets into that depression stage. So
what inspired you to cut?
What inspired me to write the deepest cut? Yeah. So I kind of wanted to figure out a way where I can bridge the gap between like mental health and also like creative arts. And I feel as though, like creative arts can be so transformative, and it could be that bridge between someone that might not go into therapy. They can see themselves as part of the character, because, you fall in love with characters. You get upset with characters, when they pass away, you grieve with the character. So I wanted them to have this opportunity to grow with Constance, to learn more about her, and to see themselves in her story. And so with that'll be helpful in kind of bridging that gap to, it's okay to tackle some of these things.
Absolutely. So at the premiere, like, for people out there that may say, well, I'm not ready to come out yet, in the groups and whatever, I noticed that you mentioned that you do have, you will have practices in place where can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I'll tell it, and this is about you.
Sure. So I'm making sure I'm renting out 3 to 4 theaters. and it's only going to be at 35% capacity. Also, it's a masked event. Temperatures are being checked. Each theater is going to be playing in 15-minute intervals. The start time is going to be 15-minute intervals so that the lobby isn't crowded. Making sure that the cast is rotating between each theater so everybody gets a chance to take their pictures, the chance to ask questions so you're not feeling left out. Because I want to make sure that we're practicing social distancing, but we're also able to have this event too.
Right. And it's the red carpet ready.
Yes, red carpet, formal attire. Yes.
I'm excited. So congratulations to Jordan, because this is a big feat, and to have your first film in a major theater is awesome.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
It really is. Congratulations. And I'm gonna have to get my ticket so that we can be on that red carpet. And Lynette, you're in this movie as well, right?
I'm playing the lead's mother.
Yeah.
Okay. Kudos to you as well. So I have to come and support. I keep saying the best co-host on the East Coast.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. So Jordan, where can people find you? Because I know this is not your last project. Are you working on anything else? I'm sure.
Of course she is.
Yes. So finishing up working with, it needs to start back up with The Therapist with Mark and Rashira. Just recently got casted to Cobwebs, and that's the Redemption 46. And also got casted for this other project that's in Atlanta. I'm waiting for the shooting times with that too. So those three right now is my focus.
And Philadelphia and Elementary.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Shout out to Terrence Orland.
Right, yes.
So everybody where they can find you, as well as purchase tickets to the upcoming event.
Yes.
So I am on Facebook, Jordan Campbell. You can purchase tickets. The link should be on Facebook. But if you go to addievilleproductions.com, the link is right there to purchase. You can purchase right there. You can also follow the page, Deepest Cut Movie. The link is there. Addieville Productions on Instagram. I'm sorry. The links are in the profile, so it's out there and available for you.
And the trailer is there as well, so you'll be able to see a trailer of the Deepest Cut as well. And Jordan is spelled
Jordon.
So it's Jordon. Jordan.
Right.
So thank you, and the best of luck. And I will see you at the premiere.
Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate you being on the Real Recognized Real Show. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. So there's an echo.
I know that. Is it coming from me or Jordan? Is it an echo still now?
I don't know. I have to. I'm texting my tech, Tony Simmons, our tech.
Tony.
So I'm trying to see who the echo is coming from. So Tony, can you bring up our next guest?
I'll keep talking, so that he can see if it's coming from me. Am I echoing? Hello.
I hear it from here. I see the three. You know how you text somebody and you see the three little dots? It's like, oh, he said it was Jordan.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So unfortunately. So now we have our final guest in the queue, and Derek's been waiting patiently because I've seen him in there for a minute.
The two Dereks.
The two Dereks with Derek Thompson, I believe. Derek Shaw. He's been trying to get on there, and I can see you, Derek. So I'm gonna bring these guys up. Let me bring them into the. Hi.
Hey. Oh, you know what? Guys, I forgot to say Happy Women's History Month. So Happy Women's History Month, not to you folks, but to all the ladies out there and the ones who are on the show. How are you this evening?
Good, real good.
Good. Awesome. So thank you guys for coming. And Derek, you're on mute. Do I have you on mute, or you put yourself on mute? I want to.
Right
There
there.
you go.
Got
There
me.
you go.
Okay.
You're
My
not
fault.
sure. I'm sorry. I apologize. I gotta address which Derek I'm talking
The
to.
last name, Shaw.
Thanks for having us
Yeah,
on.
one must spell the name wrong.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna start. Don't get on him for the way he spells it, man. We can't help it. And you better watch it, man, before we go back to Pittsburgh. You know what I'm talking about? All right, now.
How y'all doing today?
And then Ned, don't move too much because you're going in and out. Our tech is saying as well, so we need to
I'm
hear
sorry.
you. Maybe because you're excited, you're moving around. You know how we do.
I'm sorry. I'll be still.
So introduce our guest, please.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, well, you know, I have an intro for Derek Shaw, but I don't have one for Derek Thompson. So I'm going to ask Derek to introduce himself after I introduce Derek Shaw. So Derek Shaw grew up in Philadelphia, always dreaming about entering the film industry. He started out with writing funny stories and short films earlier in life, but kept most of his material hidden. As he entered Temple University as a business major, he minored in creative writing. He decided to leave Temple and pursue a life in the field of communication. Storytelling has always been at the core of his creativity, so he decided to perform as a stand-up comedian at local venues as an outlet for him to express his inner thoughts in a comedic way. With the desire to write stories still at his core, screenwriting became the vehicle he used to express his art. His first script, Again Comes the Rain, won the Philadelphia Screenwriting Award and placed second in the LA Comedy Screenwriting Award ceremony. After meeting the legend Robert Townsend, Derek was led into the direction of writing and producing his own content. He wrote and produced several short films and a feature film as well called Blissfully Unmarried that won the Lee Whipper Silver Award in the Philadelphia Film Festival and also the Spirit Award in the Los Angeles Comedy Film Festival. His latest venture, the Land Codes web series episodes have won Best Web Series in the Indie Short Award, as well as the Miami Indie Film Festival and the Indie Shorts Festival, as well as the LA Comedy Film Festival. Congratulations. So Derek continued his education in film at the Academy of Arts in San Francisco and Wilmington University. So welcome, Derek Shaw, and thank you.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
So Derek Thompson, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. I too grew up in West Philly. I grew up in West Philly. I was kind of more so into music, getting on. I started messing around with film about 7, 8 years ago. We did a little web series. It didn't go too far. We did get we had a nice amount of views in a short amount of time, but the crew broke up. That led me to trying to do a solo project. So I did that. It was a joint called Talk It Out. It did a little something. And then I linked up with Shaw and them, and that's where I'm at. I did a few other projects too, though, but that's it.
So are you a comedian as well?
No, I'm not a comedian. Yeah, I'm not a comedian. Yeah, no, I'm not a comedian.
So both of you work on the Man Code, which is the web series. So can you tell us a little bit about the Man Code, Derek Shaw?
Okay, well, it's pretty much Derek Thompson is our lead actor. It's pretty much surrounds him, his family, his friends, and all the ups and downs of being a black man in this time and age with not much sense. He does things to get himself in trouble, and it all surrounds around him. So he stars in it, and he writes on it, and he helps produce it. And he has a lovely wife in the project who they don't seem to get along.
Yeah. We all that though, but I'll get it one day. Brian,
we brought Lynette in, and her and Derek had great chemistry from the door, and it's funny scenes for everybody to see.
It's very funny. It definitely is a very funny web series. So there are some scenes out there now on Ruby Street Productions. Can you tell us a little bit about Ruby Street Productions and what you do?
Well, we do it all. We do commercials, we do shorts, we documentaries. We're in pre-production for our next film. We're working on finance, and hopefully we can shoot it in May. We have one with Carl Payne, and right now we're actually trying to get Tatiana Ali to play beside Carl for the next film, and hopefully we'll be shooting it in May.
Oh,
Can
nice.
you share the name or not?
Oh, bedwritten. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's bedwritten.
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 Nice.
Bed-
Okay. And this is a short or a feature?
No, it's a feature. It's a full feature.
Okay.
We're still working on financing, but it'll be my biggest project so far.
Right.
So
I mean, that's how you got to go. You've done a lot though. You have a lot, experience, and I know the Man Cove is a project that you guys been continuously doing even through the COVID. I believe you guys have been still filming. With I'm sure it was.
yeah.
Can you talk about some of those challenges as a film?
It's rough. We probably would have 10. We would probably be working on season 2 right now if COVID didn't shoot it down. So it's in the beginning. You couldn't shoot at all because you couldn't have so many people on the set and in a room at one time. So after a while they eased up a little bit. So we're still precautious. Everybody has to wear their masks and social distance, and it's tough. The feature we was actually supposed to shoot it in November, but that's when they shut everything down and they got pushed back.
Right.
And
So
who else we almost had for that project.
we almost had a couple people, but which one you talking about?
I was really I like for you to talk. I was really talking about the boys from Wildin' Out and the Ashy Larrys and
Oh yeah, well the Donald Rollins he signed on, and man, what's the guy from Wildin' Out? I don't even remember his name.
DC Young.
DC Youngfly.
Oh,
Yeah, he's interested in the project also.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and they're courting Vanessa Bell Calloway right now too. So we have some big names on this project. So God willing, it comes through. But
Right.
I hope so.
yeah.
It will, positivity and with their persistence, things will come through. But we gotta understand and realize that it's in God's time. So even though sometimes we want things right away, things could go wrong or not be as good as it should be because we're rushing it. So sometimes we have to sit back and say, even though everything through life, we want it now. Like, give it to me now.
Yeah.
You gotta sit back sometimes and say, God, you're in charge. When this is supposed to hit, whatever platform is supposed to hit, make it work. And maybe the platform that you want to hit is a smaller platform, and God got a bigger platform for you. So, I'm sure you guys have been doing some amazing things. I follow you both, and I commend you for everything that you're doing within the industry. And once again, I said I don't claim that being an actress, but you need me to walk by the screen or something. You want me to sit in the bar, you know what I'm saying? With a little cup in my hand or whatever, 1 or 2 liners, I got you.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep it in mind.
Yeah.
Look, as soon as you jump on, then it's going to go like this. So that's what's missing. You're the missing link.
Yeah. I want to shift a little bit because I was touched by your other 2 guests, and
Sure.
I actually had did a project dealing with it was called Talk It Out Street Therapy, and it was really about gun violence, but my whole goal was to get to the root of it. So we was dealing with systemic racism and post-traumatic slave syndrome and all of that. And so when sis was talking, and then truthfully, I'm in therapy right now, right? So it's funny, man, hearing some of the stories earlier. And I'm working on this other thing right now. It's called Definition of a Man, but it's really called Interesting Perspective. You
I
see what
saw
I'm
you in Atlanta. I saw you filming
saying?
in parts of it in Atlanta, and what an interesting place to film something called Definition of a Man.
Yeah, so yeah, it's funny. But we was in Charlotte too. I've done stuff here too, but that's my problem. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm just saying. Just hearing that and just dealing with the whole, where we be at some time mentally, even with when she was talking about self-sabotaging and all of that. I might be going off a little bit, but it touched me. It kind of threw me. Right?
Right.
Just like really dealing with where people are, and I guess that's where I am. And even before when I was doing that project, I wasn't even thinking about how damaged I might have been. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why too, Lynette, I apologize. I appreciate you putting me on. I might have been a little rattled or whatever, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, that's fine because
I commend you for sharing that. I
Right.
commend you for sharing that. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna see a lot more, really, man. I big up my man, Valpour. You probably see him too. You know what I'm saying? Talk. That's who I was with, my sister Jennifer, and even Sean them for rocking with me. So just being steady, and like you were saying too, man. Just everybody, just keep pushing forward. You know what I mean? Just keep on pushing forward. That's
It's
all.
only one way through. Only one way through to get to the other side.
Yeah,
Is
no
just
doubt,
that.
no
Keep
doubt.
pushing
You know what I'm
forward.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
But
want
I'm
to
glad.
keep that going. Because I met, and it's funny too. It's sad. I just seen my man Mark, and we had a guy in the film, Kamal, who had got shot like 5 times, and he was in it afterwards. So in the film, he was talking about that and how he tried to change his life because of his daughter, whatever. And then about maybe 2 months ago, he got shot again. Now he's paralyzed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was just so I mean, I'm kind of messed up, but I guess what I'm saying is I just know that I needed to keep on going with this project. We had the therapist on board. You know what I mean? That was the goal, to try and get the therapist. We had taken the therapist to the corner and all. So I'm just saying I'm rattled, but I'm just moved by what they doing. And actually I'm gonna try and catch up with sis. All right. So I thank y'all for having me on. And yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
So
And
quick
that's
question,
what I meant by having people, how God puts people in place.
Yeah.
She was on our show for a reason. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys were a part of the show, and so is Jordan, but she was added at the last minute due to the tragedy that I had to go through. So, the connection and being able to connect people is awesome. So yeah, so if you can connect with her, that will help you still in your healing process and even your project to go back, because now it seems like now you're passionate and making sure you bring that project back to light. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
So for both of you being Black men, what let's not
Hello.
You didn't see that.
Recognize real show.
I didn't even know they made that sound anymore. But for the two of you being Black men, what do you think is going on in the mindset of the young Black men today that causing so much violence? And have you ever thought about tackling that in a film?
I have no idea what's going on with the young people. I don't know. It's like they just don't care. For someone to be 17, 18, 19, and they're ready to throw away their life and be in jail for life at 19, they'll shoot somebody without a thought. I don't know. I'm baffled.
Would you like to share, Derek?
Madge.
Do you have any thoughts on that? Is he frozen? I think he might be.
Yeah. Okay.
He's moving, but he might want to do don't mind film. He just, maybe we can get the body language. He said,
I think
it's like dictionary. Let's figure out what he's saying.
I think not man. Believe it or not, man. You can't hear me?
You
fading in and out.
Yeah.
You on that Play TNT over there.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. You keep freezing.
Can you hear me?
You just freeze it back and forth.
Oh, you got a sister.
Y'all can't hear me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you now.
Oh, wow.
I don't think he can hear us say we can hear him.
God.
Earth is there.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah,
y'all can't hear me?
We got 5 minutes to the end of the show. But have you ever thought about making? Have you ever thought about making
this?
Film? I'm sorry.
Let me try and put earphones in because y'all need to hear this.
Derek Shaw.
I had actually did a documentary about maybe 4 or 5 years ago called Why the Children Had to Die. It was mothers who had to bury their children at a young age due to gun violence. You know, I went and I had a group of women and they actually had some, I can't remember the name of the group. It was like they all got together to network and, you know, they pretty much cried with each other because all of them, their children had died to gun violence. And, you know, it was the roughest film I ever did because they're on camera telling their stories one at a time. And, you know, somewhere around the 5th or 6th story, I didn't want to do this no more. I'm like, yo, this is depressing. You know, there's nothing worse than having a child die. And it was just a group of women, one by one, saying how that, it took them through the bounds of hell. And it was just, it was a rough piece.
Right. Yeah.
Like Franchella was saying, you know, she lost her nephew and one of my girlfriends lost her son to gun violence as well. So I can't imagine, but my condolences to all of you.
Yeah, to all those who have lost someone, but those sudden deaths are what gets you. You know, we lost a nephew to a motorcycle accident. He's just at the light waiting for the light to change, and some guy came over from another lane and just hit behind him. He never seen anything coming. So and they're young. I mean, they're 37 years old. Like we're losing our young people, you know, men, women, children, and it really saddens me that we you know, these younger generation people don't have any regards of life at all. But you know, we thank you guys for coming on the Real Recognized Real Show. And Derek Shaw, can you tell people where they can find you?
And
Man
Code,
you can find me at probably RubyStreetProductions.com or Instagram Ruby Street Productions, Facebook Ruby Street Productions, or Derek Shaw. The Man Code. We want 8 solid episodes to finish season 1. Like we had a couple episodes, we went back through them. You know, Derek wasn't happy with them, so we had to reshoot them. And so, you know, restrictions are easing up. So we're actually setting up to start shooting this month. Okay. So by summertime, we should be back on air. Okay. That's the plan.
Awesome. So I don't know, Derek Thompson, we can hear you to tell people where they can find you.
He's still.
His name is Derek.
See, that's why he spelled his name wrong. D-E-R-E-K. Who spelled their name like that?
D-E-R-E-K.
Yeah, okay. That's the ones who they ride the little school bus with the helmet, licking the window.
Right? He's a bus licker.
See, look, you can't talk.
Right? Well, you can't talk. It's the roast hour. The roast is
You got to get that internet connection.
Thank you guys so much for being on the Real Recognize Real show. Please come back again. Make this your home for any projects that you guys are doing that you want to talk about, because we are definitely here to promote you. So thank you guys for joining
All
us.
right, thanks for having us.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Thank you, and stay safe.
See
All right,
y'all.
bye.
So that's funny.
Live. That's what live. That's what happened in live.
Yes, absolutely. But it just, the hour goes so fast, right? Doesn't it?
It does.
You want to just talk to them for hours, Roz and Jordan and both Dereks. You just want to talk to everybody for a long time. We always have a great time. And I actually needed this because I'm telling you, I was questioning my mental state, the anger that I have, in my heart for this shooter. And I hear Roz about forgiveness, and I know God is a forgiving God, and I know that I should forgive, but I'm just not at that point right now.
It's a process. It's a process. It definitely is a process.
It's definitely a process because nothing warrants you to take someone else's life. Nothing at all, so I have to try to find some peace. My peace right now is justice. So justice for Gio, justice for my nephew George, who we call Gio, and I got some great things in line to commend his memory and his legacy that I don't want to share right now because some of this is a surprise to my sister. So I just want to continue to keep his legacy alive. He has 2 children. Pray for them. Pray for my sister. Pray for the family that we all can heal from this. And I thank you. So thank you guys for tuning in to the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. Lynette, you also are having an event. Do you want to talk about it now or the next show?
Well, I'm having a formal affair April the 25th, Sunday at IATSC. Tickets are on Eventbrite. So all the information and details are on eventbrite.com. So it's a Royal Ball formal affair. So if you Google that on Eventbrite, you'll see it. So thank you. And my condolences again to everyone, especially you and your sister, Franchella, as well as my friend who lost a loved one to gun violence. We really have to be better about this whole topic. The city of Philadelphia, the police department, and just the neighborhoods, because people don't talk, and we need to start talking, because the streets know things and people are afraid to share what they know. But you have to realize that the families that are left behind to deal with it, it's not fair to them. It's not.
But it doesn't even stop at people don't share. They do share with the police. So I'm calling out, any authorities. They do share it with them. They don't pursue it. And that's the problem. They don't pursue it. It's like you have another Black man going, do they really care? Yes, we have more shootings in the city of Philadelphia where they can't get a handle on it, but are you solving any of these cases? I know you can't just be on one case, but are you solving any of them? Because you would have solved probably 5 of them, because trust and believe, probably 5 of those people that are dead came from that same one shooter. So if you get that shooter off of the street, you would solve a lot of these murders happening in the city of Philadelphia.
Exactly.
So I can go on and on and on and on, but I'm not. I'm going to sit back for a second, but I will make sure my nephew Gio gets justice. That's my goal in life right now. I know I have a lot of other things going on, but my goal is because I'm going to be a pain in the behind to this detective to constantly badger him to make sure that he gets justice. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate everybody. always for supporting the Real Recognized Real Talk radio show. If you are interested in being on our show, just email us at rrrtalkradio@yahoo.com, and also follow us on our social media, RRR Talk Radio, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our website. So thank you. Thank you guys
Thank
again.
you.
We
And
out.
so
God
that's
bless. Absolutely.